Okay, and now um okay, here. So we started with our one second. Oh, okay, now so in the last class we have seen that um what is like artificial intelligence here. Okay, uh we have seen what is based on capability, that is this one, artificial narrow intelligence, and artificial general intelligence, and artificial super intelligence. Okay, and we started with the ML as well. What is machine learning? Machine learning, it is a type of artificial intelligence that allows machine to understand um, insights and patterns within the data and extract intelligence from that data by itself without explicitly. Here it should be without explicitly programmed. It is a process of developing intelligent machines which can um, you know which can learn by itself without this is the another definition. Okay, now the person who came with this idea of machine learning is Arthur Samuel, and he coined the machine learning in the year 1959 in the Dartmouth conference. Okay, now yeah, now here I explain you. You will create a model over here, and this model is nothing but a program based on the algorithm, and you will give the data to the model. And this model will learn from this data, and it will start doing predictions. Okay, and if you give it a stock data, it will become a stock advisor. Okay, and if you give the cancer data, it will act like a doctor. Okay, so this is what exactly happens with um your model and machine learning. So now if you look at machine learning, when we talk about the machine learning, so machine is learning, right? Here the machine will learn from the data, or it will extract the intelligence from the data. Okay, there are different types of machine learnings are there. So first one is types of machine learning. Types of machine learning. First one is supervised learning, supervised machine learning or learning. Next one is unsupervised learning, supervised learning and unsupervised. Then there is reinforcement learning. These are the three types of learnings over. Okay. Supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Now, the question is, what is supervised learning? And what is the difference between supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement? Usually we will get that doubt, like what is supervised learning and why, what is the difference between supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement? See, okay, just a minute. Just give me a minute. Yeah, guys. Sorry for that. So, what is supervised learning? What is unsupervised learning and reinforcement? See, in all the cases, you are making the machine learn. Okay. Now, I will tell you what is the difference. This is the machine we will be having. Okay. This is our model or machine, anything you can take. And this is our data. Okay. You are giving the data to the model. Okay. So you are utilizing the data to train the model, and model is getting trained, right? Now, when you are giving the data and you are making sure that model is learning from the data, that is, you are closely monitoring how the model is getting trained. And when we do it, the training, also this data will be labeled data. Okay, so in supervised learning, first you will provide the labeled data and you will closely monitor how the data is getting trained, how the model is getting trained. Now, in a simple way, I will tell you. See, suppose if there is a 2 years old kid is there. He is a 2 years old kid. And this kid, and this is you, a trainer. We can say it as he or she is a trainer. Okay. Now we ask the trainer to train this kid with fruits. Okay. Now what this trainer will do, she will get a fruit label like picture. Okay, it may get it an apple over here and it will say that this is apple, right? And she may get it an orange over here. Okay, and she will say that this is orange. And she may get it a grape over here, grapes, and we will call it as grapes. Orange, grapes, orange, and apple. Okay, you are going to train it, and this gentleman will get trained. Now, when you ask him, he says that yes, I learned it. Now, next, I want to check it out whether he learned it or not. I want to know it, whether he learned it or not. In that case, what we will do it is, we will test him. We will test him like this. We will take these things. I will just make a copy of them. Now, this time, what I'll do it is, I will not give the labels like this. And I will ask, what is this? Then he should say, this is an apple. What is this? Then he should say, this is an orange and this is a grape. Then it is understood that this learning is done perfectly. Now, again, this kid is getting learned from where? From the labeled data. Okay, under the supervision. There is a trainer is there who is training this kid. So this kid is getting trained with the labeled data under supervision. Okay, this is called as label, like supervised learning. Okay, the same way, what we are going to do it, we are going to give the data to the model, and when you are giving the data to the model, you are doing all the cleaning process. Like you are removing the NANs, you are removing the errors, you are performing the encoding, you are going through the data separation, you are giving him the training data, testing data, everything we are doing, and we are giving the data to the model. This is the model. Okay, this, when we give it all these things and we are giving with the labeled data, that is called as supervised learning. Okay, that is what exactly mean by supervised learning. So what do you mean by supervised learning? It is a type of machine learning in which the models or machines are trained with the labeled data under the labeled pre-processed data under the supervision is called as supervised learning. Okay, this all comes under the supervised learning. Don't get confused. I'll just put on a box around this. Now here I will give it as supervised learning. Okay. Now, how to define this supervised learning is, I will say it as supervised learning. Supervised learning is nothing but it is a learning technique in which machines are trained with labeled data under the supervision. Under the supervision is called. Now, labeled data means here labeled and pre-processed data. Labeled and pre-processed data under the supervision. Okay. And now I explain you what is the supervised learning. I just showed you the sample example over here. This is supervised learning. Now, this supervised learning deals with two types of problem statements. Okay. As two problem statements. One is called as regression. Second one is called as classification. Regression in a sense, okay, in regression, the dependent column of the data set is continuous numerical data. So the output is expected to be a continuous numerical data. Okay. In regression, the output is expected to be a continuous numerical data. Okay, in regression, output is expected to be a continuous numerical data. That is nothing but the dependent column I'm talking about, which is in float format. Now, in simple terminology, dependent column is continuous numerical. So whenever you see a data set in that the dependent column is having a continuous numerical value like float value, then that is considered as, regression problem. Okay. What is classification? Now again, a regression problem is solved with the algorithm. Okay. Regression algorithms, I will give it as algorithms, are first one, we will use the linear regression. There is a decision tree regressor. And there is support vector regressor. and random forest, regressor, all these things. Okay, these are the regression algorithms. Now, when it comes to the classification, what is classification is nothing but in classification, data is classified into different clusters, or data is segregated into different clusters. Classification, data is classified into different segregated. I will use the word segregated. That is better. Into different clusters based on the common features. In simple terminology, whenever different clusters based on the common features. Okay, in classification, data is classified, data is segregated into a different clusters based on the common feature. Okay, based or data is segregated into the different clusters based on the common features. And we can say it as dependent column is categorical column, categorical data. That is, it will be in the string format. Okay, string format. And one thing you should understand, you should be very closely observing. Whenever there is a dependent column is there, and in the dependent column there is a string type of data is there, that comes under the category of classification. But sometimes there will be numbers also, like 0, 1, 2, 3 or something like that, a limited numbers, the integer numbers. Then also you can consider it as a classification. Okay, now as we move forward, I will explain you, then you will understand them much better. Okay, now the classification problem algorithms. First one is decision tree classifier. Next one is NIBase, SVM, KNN, and logistic regression. Even though there is regression, this is a classification problem statement. And there are many are there: random forest classifier, Adaptability classifier, gradient descent classifier. All this comes under this